Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We're the CommanderSmiths.
What the fuck?
I was gonna try to stretch. I didn't realize you were gonna start. Sorry.
Let's redo that.
Are you sure? I mean, that's good. That's good TV right there.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
Our bit now has been the beginning is just fucked up. like it's just
It's
whatever.
a good bit.
It's our bit.
It's a good bit.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be all good. This is episode 191, and what do we have in store today, Lowery?
Why'd you become a pirate?
Arr. What's your favorite letter? What's a pirate's favorite letter? Arr.
The sea.
The sea. I still sound like a pirate there. I didn't mean to that time.
Hull Breachers band still. What are we doing? Okay, so we're gonna talk about burnout for the main segment.
Just the tips. We got just the tips.
Just
we're giving you guys tons of tips. Just little tips.
Yeah, just little tips.
Little tips.
I'm hearing a little bit of ouch, ouch. Don't get on my hair. But we're gonna talk about burnout. What you should be doing, how is that feeling coming?
We're not talking about drugs
bit.
there. We're talking about more of getting burnt out from magic.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are real bad.
Okay. Yeah, so it's more of a burnout. You know, we've had a few people on Discord. You had a little bit of a spat of.
I had a lot of it last year, right around Commander Legends, which sucked because
that's like one of the best sets. Yeah,
I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
just done.
But you had a little different issue of you had a podcast, so that kind of made you push through it more. But it was you actually came to me, or like just so you know, I'm having a little bit of burnout with it, and so we're gonna kind of talk about some tips maybe and what to do and not to do with the burnout situation.
Yeah,
everybody goes through it. I mean,
everybody
goes through it, and things happen in life. Maybe you're playing too much, or maybe you're not necessarily liking the play group you're playing with. There's a bunch of factors, but we're gonna give you some tips of when this happens to you. Some things maybe not to do or maybe to do to help you kind of get through it or make sure that you don't
kick yourself
later. Because how many people do you hear that are like, oh man, I sold my collection when I went to college. And then they're like, I had this, and this. I had all the duels and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And man, I'm kicking myself. So we're going to kind of go through all that to kind of help you not kick yourself later in the future. And then we have a new Stump the Smith Savant because Mr. Ted
last week
stumped Mr. Lowery there.
Who got picked this week?
Paradigm Shift. So got a interesting one. This one's gonna be a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, this one's gonna be tough. I feel bad, so I'm hoping my clues will help on this one. So
don't worry about it. I'm the savant.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, good. I lost last week, so I gotta.
Hey,
I'm totally sober. I am at least 1 week sober right now. Bad gout. Gout. Oh my god. I actually went to the doctor on Friday.
And you don't do that. You're not a guy that goes
Thursday,
to the
Friday. Yeah, I don't like going to the doctor. Yeah. And so finally I was just like, this is not getting better. It's getting worse. This really fucking hurts.
Did it start right after a cast last week? Like, did you, because we had beers that night, kind of?
I was feeling it. And I remember as I was putting the beer in the fridge for the show, I went, I probably shouldn't drink that tonight. And I did. And Wednesday was really when it kicked in. And I was just like, this is fucking miserable. Ugh. Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Oof.
I have a feeling, Commander Gout's kind of made their appearance again.
Yeah, he didn't even know at that point.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
I bet Commander Gouts will come out once again. I don't have gout because I'm on medication, so I can drink. I am drinking Jacko Pumpkin Ale.
Is that different than the...
No, it's the same Adams one that I was drinking before.
Oh, the same one? It's not Oktoberfest.
Not Oktoberfest. No, but same Adams... It's a variety pack. Go that way. Okay. There we go. Focus. No, it's not focusing. Jacko Pumpkin Ale.
Okay.
It's not focusing. It's focusing on me.
Yeah. Well, it knows its job.
Ooh, too sexy. But it's actually really delicious. I am a person that loves this season. It's my favorite season because I like the cooler air. I love fall, all that. I like pumpkin stuff. And that just recently started happening. So like we get pumpkin creamer, the pumpkin spice creamer. Yeah, that sounded really... but I like the pumpkin spice
How do you even do that? Do you like massage the top of it or what?
Let's move on. All right. So then we have a staple versus. What is our staple versus this week?
We're gonna talk original OG duels versus fetches.
Fetches. The good fetches. Not the bad fetches.
Good fetches.
The good fetches. So this one's gonna be tough. I have a lot of points, but there's some nostalgia feel for those duels. I know you're on one side. You're on one side. Hey, you need to be biased with this. You can't show your side.
I need to be unbiased. Yeah.
Or sorry, I said biased. You need to be biased.
I am
unbiased on this. So so we got a pretty good staple versus. We'll talk about last week's results was a fucking blowout. So we'll get to that. Besides Gout this week, anything else happen in Lowery's world? Just basically house stuff, right? I mean, just getting the house ready to go. We're all moving forward with that.
Focused.
Yeah, going forward. I don't have any news. It was more of wait.
Okay, thank God.
I started working on Chatterfang. No, I mean I finally am building my first deck since this spring, basically, and I don't. We never
How do you feel good? You're rusty.
A little rusty. I'm a little annoyed in a way, I guess, that I'm starting to build it. And you know how I always like to have the Atom twist to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want it to be so straightforward. There has to be some like little twist to it. This is really straightforward. I'm not doing Squirrel Tribal though. And I'm not unique in thinking this way, but I am doing more of like you're making treasure tokens that will will make squirrel tokens. Any type of tokens, not just treasure, the Scion tokens and all that stuff. So I basically took apart my Mazarek deck, which was all Scion based.
Eldrazi spawn tokens.
Yep.
And,
So I have that taken apart and putting that into a partial theme in this with treasure, and yes, some fucking food is mixed in there as well.
It's okay. You can accept food is fine.
I really wanted to play the shards tokens, but that doesn't fit the colors because I think it's blue and white as shards, so there just isn't any black and green stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I kind of was texting with you about it. I think this will be my Edgar 2.0 deck, where it's kind of a straightforward, newer players can probably play this deck and enjoy it, and it'll do pretty well. Because Chatterfang
seems like a lot of triggers, but there's a lot of triggers.
Oh, that's a good point.
Edgar Markov with the
but it has built-in removal with Chatterfang, so I didn't need to have a ton of removal in there, but you still do the Grave Pack stuff because you're sacrificing those, make everybody else sack stuff. So it'll be interesting. So it feels good to start building a deck because once I'm done with that one, then I'm moving on to the goading one from Adventures of the Forgotten Realm. So that's probably gonna be my next one. You don't seem too impressed.
I just call it the D&D set. Like D&D. I always forget. I can't find it on the Card Kingdom. Like
because you go to D&D instead of the Adventure.
There.
What the hell is going on?
Why didn't they just call it D&D? Yeah. Magical D&D.
So that is pretty much it for this week. We will catch you guys next week. Just all right. So should we get into the tags and stuff?
We got a new patron.
Woo! Yeah. Oh wait. Get the button ready. Get the button ready. There it is. All right. So new patron, freaking fantastic name, Platypus Hobo.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
Welcome to Meat Forest, buddy. You can also become a patron by donating $1 or more on Patreon. That gets you into the Discord. You guys can play games. We haven't got games going yet for this fall, but we'll be getting them going. Tried this weekend, but people were gone, Saturday. It's kind of tough sometimes. But that gets you in there. $5 or more starts getting you proxies of the week. You can get proxies each month. If you get to the $10, $15, $20 tiers is when you can start to get foils of those proxies. So all that's explained on Patreon. That's where you can check that out. The free way to support the show is seriously jump on YouTube, subscribe, watch videos, like them. Big thing is the likes. Curated MTG is a video that just came out. Not video. The Curated MTG that came out this week was...
Did I do Drogue Skull Reaver?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
It's a pretty cool card.
Yeah, it is. I'm so surprised that card hasn't gone up. I remember when that card came out and I was like, this card's freaking ridiculous. And
so it's blue, white, 5 colorless, 3/5, flying, double strike, life link, and whenever you gain life, you draw a card. And so if it's a lot of really cool cards. Yeah, if it hits, you're drawing 2 cards, gaining 6 life. And it works in a bunch of different decks. So
it's pretty fantastic.
Check it out. Get it if you don't got it.
Just like that video, you like that. That's the biggest thing there. If you want to write comments, that's even better because we get more comments on YouTube than we do on Twitter. We'll get to Twitter in a second. You can check out other videos as well. Proxy of the week. Do Proxy Time live on Sundays, typically at 7:30-ish around that time. This past week was... because I'm building Chatterfang, I made Chatterfang the commander.
Yes.
And then also Pitiless Plunderer because... that combination with Chatterfang is pretty freaking ridiculous. And I realized I didn't have Pitiless Plunderer as a
I think it's
proxy.
Pitiless Plunderer.
Did I say pitiless?
Pitiless.
One,
Kid can't even read.
two.
I'm so on going with the, what am I doing? And I'm not even reading it. I'm just going off of memory. And why did I say pitiless? Pitiless Plunderer. I bet you that's making Discord cringe right now. It piddles.
It's fine.
I should have done that. He's just peeing everywhere. He piddles.
Was that
Pitiless Plunderer. So I realized I have that card in a bunch of decks and I don't even have a proxy of him. So that means I have a bunch of copies. So good for you.
Going on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that card finally made as a proxy. You can check out other videos. We have how-to videos and stuff on there as well. And you can check out the podcast. That's where you can see what cards we talk about. You can see our pretty faces, see all the hand gestures and all that whatever stuff that goes on. It's a lot of dancing there. You're missing out because Lowery's not even making noise, but he's dancing. So that's where you can do that. YouTube. You can check us out on Twitter. That is where you can see where we post a lot of that stuff. We have some voting stuff on there for staple verses. Not sharing with Adam, MTG switcheroo. You can message us there, direct message, or direct message us on Gmail, CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. All right.
Also on Twitter, you can tell us that you want us on Instagram.
Oh, that's right.
We didn't get 20 or 30. We got
Juan.
We got one. I feel like
Juan.
There's 2.
Maybe there was two.
But there was definitely at least 2 or 3 people that said, no, don't leave Twitter.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's funny because the people that really want us to get off of Twitter and go to Instagram or Insta, as the kids say it, or whatever they call it, or
the gram.
Or the gram. You just shorten the word and whatever. Are people that don't have Twitter accounts because they think it's the worst, so they can't go on there and say, go to Instagram.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I thought about it later. I was like, the people that they don't have it, so they're not going to.
If they don't want us on Twitter, they're not going to tell us on Twitter to not be on Twitter.
Right. They're doing it on Discord. They're like, get off of Twitter. And I was like, oh yeah, they don't have Twitter, so it doesn't work out very well. Okay, so
it was set up. It was a setup. We're never leaving Twitter.
So if you want us to get on Instagram and get off of Twitter, jump on when we do the staple versus voting. I think that's when you had mentioned it before.
If you want us to get off Twitter, go on to Instagram. You need to make an account, follow us on Twitter, tell us to get on Instagram, and then maybe
30. We got to get up to 30. We got Juan or 2 at the most. All right. Ready? It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card. Lowery is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He is allowed 3 clues and 5 wrong guesses. If he gets 5 wrong guesses this week, Paradigm Shift would win. What do we have for our prize? Just
full art Teferi?
Yeah, full art Teferi, who slows the sunset. So not foil, just a full art one. So that is
just so many
the
words.
Prize. I know.
It's a very long
slows
title.
the sunset. All right, so here we go. You're gonna hate this one. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to.
Hold
hate
on,
it.
this is a long one. I'm gotta pay attention.
A long one? Okay.
Ready? Next.
God damn it!
I told you you're gonna. Next. This is gonna be hard. I don't.
All right.
Here, let me give you this.
So
it's a quotation.
Quotation
Next!
with an exclamation point.
And
Okay.
another end of quotation.
All right. And all capital letters. I'm
No,
assuming.
just one. N is capitalized. Everything else is
NEXT.
I can read this one.
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 Kid can't even read.
Two.
Okay. Next would.
Can you picture, like, you've seen this text before? Have you seen it before?
Okay, so gut thoughts right off the top is it's a red card, like somebody's in a hurry. But I don't know anything beyond that. Like,
I do like how you break
Next.
things down a little bit to talking
where
it
my
out.
head's at a little
Yeah,
bit.
I like it. Keep doing it that way. I mean, you have been doing it that way. I just, it's kind of cool to see how the savant's brain is working.
And so,
Do you want the quote again? maybe it might help if I read it in a different voice. Next.
Is it like a cow? There's no cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I reading into it? Like, it feels like it's a goblin. It feels like it's at like a marketplace or something, and so it could be like 10th Street in Ravnica. It could be, I don't know. I'll take a clue.
All right. Clue number 1. It only has 3 printings, and the last printing came from 6th edition.
A long time ago.
But it is used because it's over 5,000 decks. Oh, that's the other part. The cards that are suggested have to be in at least 5,000 EDH rec decks. So.
Good point. Okay, so this is next. Been reprinted 3 times, and last time was in 6th edition. Shoot. Like, is there a good chance this is Alpha Beta Revised Unlimited? No. Because that would be probably just 4 out of those. So it wouldn't be in the original sets. So what do we have there? It's could have been in Chronicles. If it was in Chronicles, then that would say that it could be like the Dark Legends, Arabian Nights, and probably a few more sets there, like previously to Chronicles. Then you got 6th edition. So that could be like, that could be a lot of sets at that point. So I will take another clue.
The text features searching.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What was the beginning?
The text features searching for a type of card or cards and setting your top after searching for them. The text features searching for a type of card/cards and setting your top after searching for them.
So this sounds like a tutor? That wouldn't be red, because gamble goes to hand. It wouldn't be green. It's not white, it's not light. It's probably not blue. I don't think it's the tutors. So it'd be something similar to that though. Next. And so it's the next card you're drawing, which is kind of an interesting deal.
The last clue will feature art. It'll maybe help with that.
I'll take that third clue.
Oh, let's see. Okay. The art features two creatures laughing at another creature because he has an arrow stuck through his ear. Oh, damn it. I was hoping because this might have got me if I got the art pick part of it, but
you're lucky you got me on a sober week.
So only has 3 printings, the last coming from 6th edition. Text features searching for a type of cards and setting your top afterwards. The art features 2 different creatures laughing at another creature because it has an arrow stuck through its ear.
Because it has an arrow stuck through its ear?
Mm-hmm. Now it's time to narrow things down. Start making some guesses.
An arrow. An arrow in its ear. 2 creatures laughing. And a third one that has an arrow in its ear.
Going through its ear.
Going through its ear.
Like you can see both sides of it.
Oh, through it. Okay. Through its ears. Yeah, this is definitely hard. 6th edition. It's in.
I would say go.
It sets the top by searching for a card. Like that's the biggest. It's a tutor. And so what? I hope I don't get stuck on that. So like, does the name of the card have tutor in it?
Like the name of the actual card?
Yeah, in the actual name, is tutor in there somewhere?
Wrong.
All right. So I was right on my initial feeling, like it shouldn't be in there. Like it doesn't match the art or anything, but it's a type of tutor. It's an old tutor of some type.
6th edition and before.
Where were they doing tutors? So the original tutors were from Mirage, and those are in 6th edition. And then, but they were in Eternal Masters for the most part. And
I think what you need
that
to
would have been the most.
The second clue is text features searching for a type of card or cards.
Yeah.
And then setting your top after you've found them.
Yeah.
Or it. So I'm not trying to work you through it more, but like normally just like, worldly tutor, mystical tutor. You've already established it's not those. Those are searching for a card. This one has a different thing to it. So I'm trying to clarify how I wrote that clue. It's more of
yeah.
card or cards.
And I just don't recall. I'm just trying to think of like, when did they start really doing tutors? You had demonic tutor and diabolic tutor, and then I think you're around Mirage, and so you have because and it's still, it feels, the text feels like a red card.
Do you want to
right?
ask that?
Like, let me say it out loud, because it's not so like what it's a funny text, and the art has people laughing in it, and that's a little bit more chaotic, and so it's not a green card. I mean, it's kind of like bad, so it could be a black card, like just watching somebody with an arrow and you're laughing. That art says it could be black, but black is probably not going to be like that. I think it's red. So is this card red?
Hello, boobies.
All right.
That's why I was like, when you first started working out in the beginning, I was like, all right, I like how that you went with the red there. That was
and so
interesting. I like how you worked it out.
And I think I'm still in like Mirage. Maybe not Mirage, but like the block. And what's the block? Mirage, Visions, and maybe something else? Is that Alliances? No. So it's probably Visions or Mirage in my head. That's Goblin? Goblins would say something like that. Because they're always asking. So like it could be like a goblin catapult of some type. But that's Tempest, or the goblin bombardment, where like sacrifice next. But
I think
again,
goblin bombardment
goblin
has a
bombardment
funny, has a funny thing to it too.
And that's from Tempest, but it still feels kind of like a goblin card. Are the creatures goblins in the picture?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. Sixth edition.
3 printings, last coming from 6th edition. Text features searching for a type of card or cards and setting your top afterwards. Art features 2 creatures laughing at one other creature because he has an arrow through his ear.
And so...
And you have established it is a red card. It has goblins in the picture. I think that's all you've actually made for right guesses.
Yeah. Okay. So either right now, I need to think that like red doesn't normally get the instant, so it's either probably a sorcery or a creature, not an enchantment, not an artifact, clearly. So it's either a sorcery and maybe a creature. Were there creatures that were setting the tops like the Harbingers back in the day? And you're saying creatures? Hold on. Is this card from Visions?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. This is a creature?
Hello, boobies.
I don't know.
Is that picking up on the mic?
No, it's just I can see you doing it.
This itch in the beard.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
It looks like you're getting your beard a little excited there.
Okay. Yeah, baby. Get that pumpkin cream,
Yeah. Oh, God. Pumpkin cream.
Okay, I think I got it. It's goblin. I think it's goblin something. Creature type goblin.
Hello, boobies.
Okay. Why? Okay, so I have it in my head, but every goblin is goblin something.
Yeah.
So it didn't really help me. Okay, so we know it's Visions, we know it's 6th edition, and I know what it is. It's the middle set was Beatdown. Do you know that? It's like a maul, a spike for the set symbol.
Are you asking?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. That's what it is. It's Beatdown. Or anthologies. Might be anthologies. Yeah, Beatdown might be older. Or like newer. Anthologies, probably.
We're getting to the Diablo music for a third time.
Okay, hold on. There's another card that's like this. It's like Dwarven Recruiter. Goblin Recruiter.
Hello, boobies.
Boom! Way to work through it.
Got it.
Good job.
Jeez.
I know. I was like, this one's gonna suck because I just give you next. But it was interesting how you right away came to the conclusion. Just the feels was red card just off of that. So it was that was a tough one. I was like, shit, this is gonna. But can you picture the art though? Like the art would have given it away for me, maybe. But I've used this card. I've had that 60 card Goblin deck. So what Goblin Recruiter does is, well, if you're watching YouTube, you're already looking at it, but it comes into play. Search your library for any number of Goblin cards you choose. Reveal those cards, shuffle your library, and then put them on top in any order you choose. So that was the setting, the top part for the whole thing. Good job.
Yeah. When you did
it was anthologies, by the way. So
anthologies.
I was like, do you want to make that guess? So the Visions, anthologies, and then 6th edition.
There was the art that popped into my head that I couldn't really get out of it when you first said it with the arrow through the head was there's a card from Ice Age where the goblin's picking its nose. And that's what was in my head because I think and I don't know why I don't even know what that card is, but
yeah, that was one of the tougher ones. I was wondering if you would get it, like if you had seen it, because the text is unique enough. I was like, maybe he's seen it. He might get it off the beginning. And then once you didn't, I was like, okay, we're in for a treat. But that was good how you worked it out, though, because, next it's an interesting.
Super short.
Yeah, but it's funny. So red does that a lot. And it was kind of cool. You figured kind of that out. You're like, no, green doesn't seem it, black, no. So it was cool to see you kind of work that through. I had to hold back the. I did do one thing when you talked about Goblin Bombardment. I have to lay off the being like, because I kind of gave away that it wasn't Goblin Bombardment, and I wasn't trying to. I was just like, I remembered that Goblin Bombardment has a unique text to it too.
And I knew it wasn't Goblin Bombardment, but like. It felt like a card that it could be. I just knew, I knew it was Tempest, and I was pretty sure it was Mirage because like that was kind of the first time where they did like tutor something to the top. Yeah. And so they tend to when they touch on something, they kind of do it again pretty soon afterwards if it was really good or they think it's a good idea. And they didn't do it a whole ton, but like, like you have like Mystical Reflection from Keldheim. Wink, got it. And Keldheim. And that, that kind of like messes with tokens and creatures when they're coming in to be other creatures. And then right after they make Essex, which is doing that same thing with tokens. And so when they're testing out ideas, they kind of do it and then they do it a little bit more and they do it a little bit more. And then they kind of hang out and stop with it for a little bit to see if it's too powerful or, if it's not like a full on theme. Yeah. So that was, so then it triggered it because you thought of Dwarven Recruiter is how you thought of it. And then that's how you got the recruiter part. Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty good. Good job. All right. So again, we're going to week 2. I'm sorry.
Paradigm shift. you did not win, but feel free, send some more suggestions. We're moving to week 2. Once we get to week 4, we will add another card on to the prize pool. So, all right, now we move into the main topic.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Ouch, ouch, you're on my hair. Okay, so what are we talking about here, Larry? Burnout, man.
Too much weed in high school.
Man.
Started in freshman year.
All right,
Yeah,
but
man.
not that kind of burnout. We are talking about burnouts and ruts and Magic. So everybody goes through them.
Yeah.
One way or another. I don't know, in high school, I don't think I got burnt out. It was more of like, I just kind of, I don't know if grew out of it in a way. I just had too much high school stuff going on.
Yeah.
So we just didn't.
And I think we can include that into the discussion of just like, I'm not playing the game anymore.
Yeah.
What are the reasons? Burnout, you're in a rut, life
taking
changes,
a break. We're on a break. We're on a break.
And then Magic's still there, and it's like, you're playing Monopoly now? What the fuck?
But so like in high school, I took a break. I don't remember. It wasn't even like we just did other things, Video games kind of came into, like, when we'd spend the night.
Yeah.
It turned into
it was never like, hey, let's play Magic. But it also wasn't like, hey, let's play Magic. No, let's do something else.
No, yeah.
It was just like, it just wasn't brought up.
And I remember at one point, my brothers kept kind of playing. They kept buying cards. And I remember that the frame changed when they changed like the color scheme of everything. And I was like, this is gross. Like, Magic looks bad. What did they do? All this stuff. And we weren't playing anymore at that point. Because honestly, at that point, it was, you guys would come over and we play WWF versus NWO and stay up until, the sun was coming up, and just video games and all that. And then you get into high school and you're just doing other things, high school
and
stuff.
There's, like when you're a kid, you have like infinite amount of space because your parents just put up with your shit, And when you become an adult, like, and you got to be like, you're moving from apartments or from your dorm rooms, and there's a lot of cards that you can have. And so like, that could be maybe some of the reasons where you're like, I'm just going to get rid of this stuff. I'm not doing anything with it right now anyway. And I think maybe we hold on to that thought right there. But like, let's talk about the burnout aspect, because we just had Jacuzzi.
Well, let me add one more part to it.
Go ahead.
Family life can be another thing. Yep. So now you maybe got back into it and you're playing, but then, you have kids, you have stuff that's happening with family. You just don't have time for that. So that's another part of your life, especially with younger kids. Actually, I'd say probably, younger kids, yes, it's tough, but then I'm not to this point yet, but when the boys are both in sports and that starts up, holy crap. Like,
you're going to be busy.
Yeah, exactly. So there's family life that can come in. So that's the parts where you can, part of your life where you're too busy to be doing it and all that. Now let's get into the burnout stuff.
And we've had one or two on the Discord talk about just like, I'm going to get out of Magic, not really playing a lot or not enjoying it. And I think it's more the enjoyment part. I had a bit of burnout last winter, like I was saying. That was probably the first time ever, but like, I had reasoning behind it, and I knew so like, I don't know if people listening remember, but I was like, my daughter Elise is killing me. Like, lack of sleep. I was so fucking tired, and I couldn't focus on anything else. I was like, it was really, really hard. And we had boxing league, and I was playing that, and I was just like, I'm not enjoying.
You also
this
got
at all.
You got your stuff later than everybody else. Like, everything was delayed. So like, the big like hurrah was that first couple weeks, and by the time you got it, everybody we weren't done, but it wasn't like it was in the first 2 weeks.
And so, for me, I just knew that like, I was really, really tired. I was, and we have the podcast on top of it, right? And so I enjoy the podcast enough that I'm not going to be like, you know what, I'm done. But if it lasted for months on end, and I was like, I'm not having fun with the podcast, man.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been something different. It took
been super sad.
Yeah. But it lasted for 3-ish months. It was like end of December, January, February, and then like March started rolling around. Maybe it was just like seasonal depression. I don't know.
Get that vitamin D.
Yeah, I started taking vitamin D this week. Thank you.
That's a daily thing because just Minnesota. We get to it gets gloomy in the winter. But when did you tell me? I don't remember. I feel like it was like in January.
It probably end of January where I was just like, hey man, I don't want to focus on anything other. I still want to do the podcast, so let's do the podcast. But like, I was like, I don't want to do boxing league. I'm not making decks.
Which is crazy because Lowery makes decks like crazy.
I love the aspect of making decks.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're like the head guy in the Discord for the deck building stuff. I kind of back out of that because I'm like, well, Lowery has because whenever we have suggestions in real life, or not suggestions, questions, you're the go-to guy with that stuff, and so that's kind of why you're the head guy. But that was you just wanted to break from all of that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I was on the Discord a whole ton at that point either.
I don't think there was a noticeable difference with that. Okay. I never noticed that you weren't on with stuff. You still got games in, but it was tougher. You were lacking sleep when we would do the cast. I don't know if people like you still had your energy with it, but man, when we got done, you're just like, I gotta get to bed.
Done.
And so going to bed.
And that's part of like, you need to understand what your life situation is. Mine was like, just like my kid was killing me. Like literally I was probably dying. Like, like just like deteriorating. Yeah. Like my brain function was not there. Like I was missing a lot of stuff. And so like, I knew I was in that situation and I knew that situation would change. And once things got worked out, like things got better. And but understanding that life is too much, or my life was too much at that point, and I just backed off. And that's okay.
Exactly.
Like because Magic is a very intense, it can be a very intense joy. Or like because like if you don't love this game, you're not going to be burned out. You're not going to get burned out. It's more of that, like what happened to us in high school. It's like just goes away.
Yeah,
and that's and again that's fine at that
too. Point. Yeah,
but if you really love it and you're getting burned out and that kind of stuff, like that means like take a break, just chill. Yeah. And the big thing is people moving their carts. Like, I'm not going to use these. I'm sick of it. I'm done. And just slow down.
Yeah. It doesn't mean don't, like, maybe sell things, minimize some things, don't necessarily, I mean, it sucks. I don't want to, because everybody's situation is different, but what our biggest thing is, what you're getting at there is what we've had. We when people have said it on Discord or whatever, we're like, hey, just make sure you hold on to a few decks. Maybe for us, very least, keep your toolbox cards. Yeah. Start moving the rest of stuff, because it may change later. Because there's so many, like said earlier, that you have so many people that go, man, I sold my cards when I went to college and all this stuff, and I really regret I had this, and that. I'm building my collection back up. We have so many people that say that.
Yep.
And the hardest thing is like, yeah, right now it might not work, but you might find a group that likes to play. I'm finding so many people lately that are new to Magic that want to play this. Like it's getting a lot more people in. I don't know if it's because of Arena or what the deal is. Commander, it's just more out there in your face. So your play groups are always going to change, or not always going to change, but they can change. Our play group has changed.
Our play group has changed, yeah.
It started off with me, you, and Jake. Jake doesn't talk to us anymore.
No.
He's in a different state because of other things.
He's
But
in a different state of mind as well. So
yeah, exactly. That play group ended, and it was just me and you for the longest time. Well, not very. How much longer until Trombley and all those guys jumped in? It wasn't that much longer. Maybe a year or two. Yeah. And then we had Guys Weekend, and they were playing 60 card decks. You go back to the early podcast, we talked about this, but we got them out of 60 card decks. They saw our Commander decks, and they wanted to play Commander. So since then, they jumped in. We had some scuffles with other things, but we have the core group of there. And then number two. Oh, man, I don't want to go all the way back to the buttons, but I will because I haven't done that button in a while. Where is it? There it is.
Hey, number 2.
The number 2 kind of jumped in, kind of the podcast was that reasoning because of my neighbor and all that stuff. And so then that's evolved, and we just, your play groups change. And now we're playing a little bit on Discord. So it
changes again. And becomes larger, or and it shrinks. Like my Magic life would shrink dramatically if the podcast didn't exist, wasn't around. And I think like you don't make sure also that you have a decently well-rounded life. It doesn't have to be like magic. No, because like,
bitch, what am I doing?
You do volleyball at night. I do
masturbation.
Magic. Yeah, I do that. No, like I hang out with the kids. You hang out with the kids. Like we have a family life. We still work. This isn't a job. You know what I mean? Magic is a hobby. And you can just kind of chill and stop. Yeah. Some people, like doctors, nurses, just people that fucking work, they get burned out, but they can't stop because it's their fucking job. Like you have to start looking for different career avenues, and that's much more serious. And that is something that people, you gotta work on, and that's gonna be a lot harder because you can't stop that. Here, it's just a hobby. Chill, and you might come back to it, you might not, but like you're saying, I think the big thing is don't get rid of everything.
Right.
Keep a few decks. Like get rid of your bulk. It is big. It takes up a whole cabinet that I have at this point. Just my bulk.
All that crap down there.
Yeah.
True story, bro.
And so
there.
It's that. I think that's a big thing. Is just like it's okay to not always go to Friday Night Magic or Tuesday, like go twice a week or play online multiple times. Like if that's something that you want to be doing, you can, but you don't have to.
Right.
And it's just like, if you don't have time for a game, cool. You're not forced to do it either.
Yeah.
Like
it's a game.
It's just a game.
It's a game.
It's a game. And there's video games, and you can get outside and do stuff that people do outside, Is there one? What do they do?
What is outside?
Working out? I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. You're climbing or working out.
That's
or
inside for me too.
That's true. So like, you got a lot of stuff, and you can do a lot of stuff. And if something isn't working for you, you can kind of move on. And again, still join our Discord because we're fun, and most of our channels aren't. I mean, probably half of them aren't Magic related.
Yeah, I think really Magic we have probably 30 channels in our Discord. Deck building's is the main one. And then when we do our videos, but then like spoilers is probably the only other Magic, and then everything else is just everything. So
that's part of having like
you don't
Discord wouldn't be as fun if we didn't have discussions on how good that
Ted Lasso is.
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
Fucking A, it's great.
Yeah,
Roy Kent.
I can't believe how many times I've seen. I know.
You
don't tell
have
me.
to watch
I'll
it.
never watch it.
Yes,
okay.
I will have you come over like you used to come over and watch Game of Thrones. You will come over and watch Ted Lasso. It is the greatest show ever.
And so
Still like Game of Thrones better, but this is just a feel good show. Okay, anyways, back to this.
So good.
Feel good.
You know, like we have the This Is Why We're Fat channel. Like that's fun. Like
to the point where we almost want to start a podcast for This Is Why We're Fat, because I think it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, number 2 can be there too.
Yeah, that was the trio that was gonna be.
Yeah. So
I'm the picky ass eater. I'll try it, but I'm gonna be picky as hell.
And so just make sure that like Magic doesn't consume your life, and just like chill. I'm saying chill a lot because that's what I'm telling my son. Like he's getting really revved up right now because it's right around his birthday, and I'm just like, chill, man.
Oh,
stop yelling.
Side note, the funniest thing ever that Kirsten texts Cindy. She's like,
"Oh,
I left to get little Lowery a haircut, and I came back with Drake." He looked exactly like Cindy was showing the picture to her family, and they're like, "That isn't Drake." Or like, "No." Freaking crazy.
It was ridiculous. And the weird thing is too, is like right after that haircut, he got a little bit more raspy of a voice. So similar to Drake. I was like, what the shit is going on?
It's just like I got gout and then you got gout. It's just there's this thing. There's this connection.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Maybe we should
You gotta move.
Do it.
That's why you're moving.
Gotta get out of here.
But yeah, I would say I want to add one thing to that. There is another aspect to it, that if you're selling your cards because of financial reasons, that can be totally understandable.
Yes.
I still think you maybe hold on to a deck if you can, just so you can have something to play with.
Yeah.
But financially, that's none of our business. If you want to cash out and pay this off or buy this thing, fuck yeah, do it. I mean, that's part of the cool thing why I like Magic so much, is that it's not only like a game I love to play, but financially, like, the cards go up. I mean, the prices keep going up as long as they don't get reprinted, and even if they do, depends on what version, this is a collector thing too. So totally understandable if you get cash out with all that stuff.
And that's like, if you go against or like compare it to video games, like reselling your video games is pretty minimal, right?
Yeah.
And they don't even do that anymore. Like I'm still stuck on like physical
having
copies,
the physical
but
game,
now it's just all digital
download. Yep.
And so like you don't have that resale value there, but you still put a ton of time into those games, and that's worth it. But once you're done, you're just kind of done, moving on from, nobody, they got the games that go on forever now too, right?
Diablo 2.
It's just like Fortnite or Minecraft or, those are all designed to just go forever until you forever.
Diablo 2 is a dungeon crawler where you just, so I explained it to Cindy, and I'm like, I'm farming for good gear. And she's like, you're like doing work? And I'm like, no, farming's like just a term. Like, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. The same like bad guy you keep going after, because the chances of him dropping are like, it's still minuscule, but it's better than these other guys. And I was like, I keep doing it. She's like, every time you talk about Diablo, I get so bored. And I was like, okay, I'll talk about Magic now. And she's like, that's better. That's so much better. But yeah, so it's you're right. With the resale stuff on video games, you can't do that. With Magic, you're playing this game that if you have old stuff, if you have the collector stuff, it just continues to go up. And so I have my toolbox of cards, and I can't ever picture in my head when I will ever sell that. It's basically going to be my boys' financial, like, hey, when I'm dead, sell this and you're going to make a ton of money off of it, because I can't picture. The cool thing about Magic is, unlike volleyball, I love volleyball to death. There's me a point where I can't play volleyball anymore. There isn't a point where I can't play Magic. You sit, you drink beer, you eat pizza, and you just hang out with people. Like,
maybe that's why you're not going to be able to play volleyball forever.
Right. But like it's a game. It's something that doesn't take any physical activity, and it's hanging out with people. Yeah. And that is the coolest thing about it. And that's why in my head I'm like, I don't know. I know that one time I was drunk at Lutzen and I got mad when we first started talking about proxies, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm selling my whole collection and I'm done with Magic.
I knew you weren't. I know, but I wasn't taking you seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed. It was when you suggested the proxy thing, and now it's like the thing that I do.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite thing to do is make proxies, and it's made my collection completely. That is probably the biggest turning point in recent Commander days for us. Because
yeah, I know, but
it's made it.
Think about that. That was like 6 to 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And that changed the game. Like that made it so it was just like, okay, there's a couple aspects to this. Now I don't want to get too much on a tangent, but making the proxies is like, okay, I don't have to have like 6 Sensei's tops for my 13, 19 decks and then move it around. I was like, okay, I just have the one, get rid of the other ones. Now I have that money to buy another card that's a staple or whatever is in a lot of decks. Let's get that. And then the collection part started, and then very shortly after is when we both started speccing, where we both of us, we kind of like, hey, this card could do this. It's very similar to Oracle Moldiah and blah, 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 blah. And so it's kind of started with the proxies and gone like this fucking huge branch of expanding my whole collection.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And so also on this note, it's just like, if you are feeling burnt out, if you are feeling like you're not really enjoying the game, I would be more than willing to talk with you about that and just like, message on Twitter or Discord, like have an open conversation or whatever you want to do. 'Cause the game is really fun. And sometimes you don't know why you're feeling this way about the game. And
Psychiatrist Lowery. I wanted to do Lore Time with Lowery, but how do I do that with that? Deep Talks with Lowery Smith.
Too deep. Too deep.
Oh yeah, it's never too.
Very deep talks.
So I mean, like, I thought that was good that Jacuzzi reached out like in the summer. He was just like, this is what I'm kind of feeling, and hopefully he feels like we gave him good advice, because he's back in the Discord more, and
he never left the Discord.
No,
like
he
never didn't become a patron. He just took a break and came back.
And anybody that wants to leave the Discord or the patrons, like, that's cool too. That's fine. Whatever, man.
We don't get butthurt.
No,
I mean a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
We know who you are, and we know where you live.
Know exactly. Oh, that's kind of true too. Oh boy.
No, it's all good. No, people have differences. The cool thing is people that have left. I have gotten, there's some people that leave that just leave and they're gone. That's fine. Everybody has their life situations. You don't need to give us an explanation. But it's been nice when people reach out and they're like, dude, financially right now, I just can't. So I love the show, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to give us money to say that you love the show. Just by listening is enough. But it does help us to continue to expand when you do. So we appreciate that. And
another tangent.
The relationships though with the Discord stuff is I built, like, I feel like these are friends. Whereas I will admit in the beginning when the Discord was going, I was annoyed with like the dings from my phone, just being like, oh, another message from Discord. Now it's like a text message for me. It goes ding. And I'm like, oh, what did they say? Oh, okay. And then I'll click on it and whatever. So now it's like we've established these friends through that, so it's, you guys are our buddies. Like, it's really cheap.
And a different tangent, because I'm willing to end the conversation at this point, but like, it probably helps when people send us like nice messages too. And then I could show my wife and be like, see, people like us.
See,
and she's like, yeah, that is really nice of them to say about you guys. I'll let this string on for another couple months. Yeah. Right. And then, so she just needs to see some positives.
Side note to Discord members and others, say nice things about our wives, and then we can show them that, and then we can stay on even longer.
They are so kind.
Your wife must be amazing.
She seems like an angel.
All right. Yeah, I think we can wrap that up. So I think the summary of it is like, yes, you have different things. We don't know what your situation is. You go through different things in life. That's always what happens. It's a high recommendation. If you're feeling down with Magic, take a break. Maybe find a different play group or something like that. If your play group isn't the one you want to deal with,
that's a really good point.
The online stuff has been, we play on Cockatrice, but you have Spell Table. Tons of people are playing on
Try
there.
a different store.
Yeah.
Try different things. Try and shake it up a little bit.
Yeah. Try to get the group. Like the thing is like, now here comes another freaking tangent. The reason why I don't talk about LGSs as much and like why I'm an eBayer and all this stuff is online is because I never had to, give me the old good for you. I never had to go into the store to find a place to play Magic because I always had
good for you.
I always had my cousins, Lowery. We have our play group that, it's a fun play group.
Yeah.
Well, there has been some drama in the past, but
I think we play a little bit different, and that's not from everybody or anything, but like when you go to an LGS, it's just like a short amount of time. You get like 1 to 3 games in.
Yeah.
And you're doing that once a week. Whereas like we're doing it when we were doing it regularly, we were doing it like once a month, and we're doing it fucking 12 to 15 hours and just getting it out of our system, and then it like slowly build up. And I think it's good to be like, I want, like on Sunday, we're playing on Saturday. On Sunday, I don't want to look at Magic, and I'm gonna sit in bed for a little bit. Yeah.
My dreams are only Magic that night. Yeah. Like Cindy's like, did you get any sleep? I was like, no, I fucking was still playing Magic in my fucking sleep. Sucks.
And you don't want to, and so having like a delayed gratification of like, I don't need to play. And then wait, and then just go ham on it and just play as many games as you possibly can. We can't do that with, pandemic and family stuff and summer in general.
Now you're moving, so you're kind of taking a little break because you got a lot of stuff to do there.
Yep.
You'll pick back up here in a little bit. So I think we're getting back into the groove. It was a weird. I mean, we're still in the middle of it. We're still dealing with the pandemic stuff. I
don't know how to deal with it either.
We're all numb from COVID at this point. It's like it's still spiking, but we're vaccinated, so it's like, well, hey, good one. Too soon, he died.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a song. The song's like a decade old. Maybe 15.
It's a great song.
I want to say 2003.
Let's see. I came back from college. Yeah, you're about right. I think it's about 2003 because I had that house that it was my mom's place that I was renting with. Yeah, whatever. Cut that out. All right.
Round 1. Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
Staple versus. All right. Last week we had Shocks versus Skrylands. Where do you think that ended up?
You told me before.
I know. Yeah. We are not good actors. We just you already told me this, dumbass. Yeah.
Shocks dominated.
Yeah. They won 81% of the votes to 19%, obviously. So that was probably our biggest blowout we've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
This week, I think, is going to be a little bit more tricky.
It shouldn't be.
Stop it. Unbiased, not biased. Unbiased. So we have duels versus fetches. The good fetches, not the bad fetches. So what should we do with first? Why don't we work with... I have duels on the left side, fetches on the right. Let's do duels first. Okay. So... some good things about duels. They're
really
types.
Nice. They walk across the crosswalk and
I could add in here. I was like, do I say they're a good investment? And I was like, no, we're not talking about that. What we're talking about here is like, there's only one card. You can choose one or the other to put in the deck.
OG
one spot or an OG or a regular
real fetch.
Real fetch. So, it has nothing to do with pricing.
OG
Well, I mean,
Duel.
that does have a little bit, but not like investment wise.
It looks cool. Let's get that. The art looks
They're
fantastic.
nostalgic.
Yeah,
nostalgic.
And like that kind of like that ooh-ah factor of like I played a duel and somebody goes, "You're playing with fucking duels."
Oh, this is the game we're playing.
Oh, this is what we're doing. You just dropped a couple $100 right there.
So it's kind of a bling bling factor.
Yeah, absolutely bling out.
It's basically dropping your deck on the table.
Yeah. No, it's worth more than my deck, but yeah.
They are the best untapped lands. Duels.
Yeah. There's no drawbacks, no strings attached. It's just a land that comes into play and does its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Land types, which is the big thing.
Both. Yeah,
they are both. You know, like,
and can be fetched with these fetch lands.
Yes, which is huge.
That is big.
Great.
What else did I have? They are very expensive. That is a negative. So
if you don't have them,
right. Then you proxy them up if you do.
Yeah.
So that's the other part is like we don't really want to get into the finance part of it.
That can be like
it can be a negative.
Let's assume that you have them. Yes, we're assuming that you have both.
And these are the spots left.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Makes your deck more efficient. Like having these.
Yeah.
You're able to have them come into play untapped, especially if you're fetching them up. You can decide between, like we've talked about that with the shock lands. You can decide if you want to go for the shock. You don't need it tapped, blah, 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 blah. All right. Yeah. So those are my pluses. Do you have any other pluses on duels that you can think of?
Sounds good to me.
Fetches.
Hold on. So like having the land types allows you to be fetchable, but there are also many cards that reference a land type, which also helps versus like dual lands that are not fetchable. You know, like that land type is important. Like there's a sorcery that allows you to put snakes into play for as many forests as you have. Dual lands help in that regard. Right. You know, a fetch land could
what is it? No, Cabal Coffers is the is it basic swamps?
Well, no, that's looking for any swamp, so that would work there.
Yeah.
And so like that makes it really nice. It fixes your mana really well. There's just not a lot of them, so it's hard to see during a game.
Yep. Fetches, you can fetch these duels. That is
it goes and gets very powerful lands.
Yes. It can get all the duel, including the original duels that we are talking about. Helps with mana fixing.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing that I talked about last week as well is that Lowery pointed out is you don't have to have the right colors. It can be you're playing blue and black and you can play a duel that's blue and red, you know, because it doesn't have that in the symbol or in the text. It just has the words. So you can play off color fetches. So you can play a lot more of them. So it's an interesting aspect.
You can literally play, you know, like a red and a white one in a black and a blue deck.
Right.
And you could still pay the life and go and search and fail to find if you're just looking for a shuffle effect. Right. And shuffle effects are pretty important in my opinion. It's better to get rid of a land to land, you know, thin and deck thin, whatever.
Land thin, you know.
Land thin. Thin
the biggest negative is you lose one life. We talked about that with shocks. Doesn't matter. One life does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
I remember having that conversation playing fetches and duels when my old neighbor with Mike and he was playing the modern, or we were playing modern.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't understand why you play those. Like that doesn't make any. You're hurting yourself. I was like, yeah, but I'm getting the stuff I need, and I'm playing I'm really efficient. Well, you're killing yourself. I'm like, dude, you don't get it.
I mean, he was playing a life gain deck too, so
and he was learning at that point too, and didn't really have the fetches and stuff. Helps with mana fixing as well. Finds the duels. Finds all types of land, so they have to have that land type in there.
Yeah.
Easier to find than duels is what I had, but that's the price thing. They're cheaper. They're still expensive, but they're cheaper than duels. financially.
Yeah.
Wise.
So you don't feel as bad. Like people aren't going to be like, oh, you're fetching, but they kind of are, but not as bad.
Yeah.
I think
I liked your shuffle effect idea.
Shuffle effect is a big thing that I like, like that in conjunction, it works with, Sensei's Divining Top.
Can't find anything on your top.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it. Move it.
If you're looking for basics, you can have a basic. It can be any fetchable land. It's a land tutor. Versus like, a fetch land can be a duel. It can be a basic. It can be its potential. I'm being biased.
All right. So, but what if you had one choice? Do you?
What would you do?
What would you do? Would you want to have this is my dick and here is on the table, or do you want to have like, that guy's playing he has a fetch, I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to take your other part of that. That's basically, okay. So I'm not going to try to swing the vote, but this is how I think it's going to go. I think the people that vote for the duels like to drop the dick on the table. The people that vote for the fetches have,
are better at magic.
Oh shit! Let me get back to it. Get over there. Get over.
I would just say build a better deck.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the thing is 99.9% of our listeners, and we don't have 99 people on Discord yet. 98% of the people on Discord are males, so I'm guessing they are the dick floppers.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
This will be an interesting one.
I
don't know.
I know how it should be.
Yes.
But we'll see how it is.
Because we've had the discussion of which one to get first.
Yeah.
And now let's get off of this is your only card, blah, 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 blah. And let's go back to that little discussion really quick. My point with the duels was that the duels are just never printed again. So the prices will only continue to go up. And so to try to get those as soon as possible. Whereas fetches, as we saw, continue to get printed. Modern Horizons 2, they were just there. So the prices will continue to fluctuate up and down, up and up. But whereas duels will just continue to rise up. You do have some little bit of fluctuation where prices come down. And so that's why when we originally talked about it, I think I was saying, get the duels first if you can, because it's only going to get higher from there, from whatever point it's at.
I think it's a good cover up for whatever our discussion was like a year ago at this point.
A good cover up.
Yeah. Nobody's going to remember what we were actually saying, other than you said duels and I said fetches.
It's because at the time I had them all and you didn't have any, and no, you had some. You didn't have them all. Now you have them all, right? You're done.
I do.
You are done.
I do. Yep.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, good for you.
I would just say build a better deck.
I'm such a smug son.
That's probably my favorite one to play. All right. So, okay, go on Twitter and vote for the duels or the fetches. And we'll announce.
Or the Discord.
Or the Discord, because we take from both.
Yep.
And then we'll announce the winner next week. Also, if you want us to get on Instagram, like Larry mentioned before, that's where you mentioned it on Twitter, because we're get a Twitter account. Do that, and then if we get 30 of them, then we'll get an Instagram.
Yeah,
we have enough people that could do it if they really wanted us to. But when you were initially saying it, were you saying we'd just be done with Twitter and then just go to Instagram? Because I think that's what you said. Know. But would we just add it? Maybe. Fuck, I don't want to add.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, we've done a lot of work on Twitter, so I don't want to just like throw it away.
Yeah, I think it's.
But I also don't want to be on there. So.
Can what we do on YouTube just be combined with Twitter? Because that would be kind of nice if you just had them to get linked where any messages back and forth. All right. I think we wrap this up. And then that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Take up.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas.
Where's your water?
Love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
I can see you. I can see you. Your eyes are just
weird. That was weird.